First of all, let's start. I mean, it's been 27 years in the coming. This was it everything you sort of all hoped it would be?
Yes. I mean, we had an idea that people would like us, but nowhere in my wildest dreams did I expect the reaction that we've had. It's been absolutely mental, I think, to use a phrase. It's been fantastic. It's been really, really good. The atmosphere in the audience is just incredible. You know, it's a bit like having a game of rugby in a phone booth, only louder. You know, it's remarkable.
I mean, the fact that you are back in the Midlands, obviously not in Coventry, that's to come, but just back in the Midlands, because Two Tone sort of did spill over into Birmingham as well. Does that make it more special? Does that make the crowd more appreciative? Do they know the music?
The crowds, it's funny, we've only done 3 shows so far, but the crowds, there's been like a difference between the first show in Newcastle, the second show in Sheffield, and the show last night in Birmingham. The show in Newcastle was like, because it was the first one, it was like the hardcore of the hardcore, and it was like just absolutely mad. And Sheffield was kind of different, but I can't remember why. But Birmingham, the crowds were a bit younger, which is a really good sign. But everyone has come to have an enormous amount of fun, and they certainly have.
Doing it 27 years on, you're a bit older, probably you're all a bit wiser as well, but is it still sort of as it was back then? Are you find that when you get back on stage it's still as much fun playing with the guys and as much fun off stage as well?
The muscle memory just sort of kicks back in. When we were rehearsing, we were like, I'd forgotten how the song went, but I played it anyway. You know, these songs are like ingrained in our DNA. It's been quite remarkable, and I think technically things are a lot better because we're 30 years better musicians, and all the equipment's a lot better than it was, and blah blah blah. So it's an awful lot of fun.
I guess the pressure actually was quite on you guys because it's been talked about for so long, this, and there's so much anticipation when it did come, and so much, you know, hope from fans. They've wanted this for so long. Did the band feel the pressure? Was it there?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, but we rehearsed and we rehearsed and we rehearsed. So we kind of knew that if the worst came to the worst, we could at least play the songs faithfully. You always have to sort of factor in the mix of, like, you know, 2,000-3,000 fans and how it's going to go, you know, plus sold out shows, you know. But so far it's been tremendous. You know, everyone has, like, all the shows have lived up to our expectations.
You're obviously building up to that final show back in sort of Coventry at Rico on this tour. I mean, the whole tour sold out, but to play that, the size of that show, and that is like the key show, I suppose, for the band. Is that the one that everyone sort of circled first?
I think, well, not all the band live in Coventry, so I think the Coventry contingent are perhaps a little more nervous about it than, you know, because we've got to meet people in Sainsbury's the next day or something, you know. So yeah, I'm totally looking forward to it now. I was very nervous beforehand, but now we've done some shows, I've got my confidence up, and I think it's going to be wild.
The music, I suppose, we were talking actually to the Enemy a couple of weeks ago, and, and they were saying how relevant music kind of is now, because 30 years ago the country was almost in the same sort of state when Two Tone hit, wasn't it?
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
Specials were actually writing.
Yeah,
so
it's extraordinary.
It's kind of held its same relevance.
Yeah. Ask me that question again. Hi, Angie.
So the song's kind of, you know, 30 years on. The songs may be 30 years old, but they're still as relevant because of what's happening in the country.
It's extraordinary that it comes back at such a time, you know, and the political and social climate is just a little bit similar. Yeah, that's not that the sense of irony there has not gone unnoticed. Yeah.
I mean, just finally, obviously Jerry isn't here, but everybody else is back with the band. I mean, did you guys kind of was there a wish somewhere that it was the whole special? I mean, it's pretty as good as. But
I don't know, it's got to the stage where 6 out of 7 ain't bad, you know, and it sounds, you know, just like the original band.
First of all, 27 years, you know, in the waiting for a lot of fans, but the band themselves, how's it been when you've eventually got back on stage together?
Very emotional. First night at Newcastle, we were all like, you know, almost not quite tears welling up, but it was that kind of thing, you know. It's sort of, I guess, it's what we were born for or something. I don't know, like, so it's strange doing it again. but the songs still mean something, you know.
I mean, it has been.
It's a shame Jerry's not here, but like, you know.
Well, I said that to Horace. I mean, has that made a difference? I mean, he said sort of 6 out of 7 isn't bad, and it's probably the best you'll get. But it would have been nice to have all.
It'd been nice to have him here, but like, he's just Jerry's Jerry, you know. He can be difficult.
The fans themselves, I mean, it's completely different to the way you were playing. A lot of you are still playing live anyhow, but completely different to 27 years ago. A few older people.
I think
like
I think we're playing better now. Like, it sounds better musically, you know, and we try to still move about a lot, you know. That's on my back's killing me.
How is the sort of? I mean, you guys were known for having fun back then. Is that the same case now? Is it sort of off stage is as much fun as it was?
Yeah,
back then?
it's so far it's been great. No one's fell out at each other. We're having a wonderful time. It's been great, and like, you know, what else can you say really? Sort of let's keep going and until we drop, you know.
Is it older and wiser? Because there was such a sort of, back in the late 70s, 80s, you were so successful. You went up there suddenly and everything was happening. Is it sort of taking that time to sit down and actually going, let's do this and let's do it right this time, you know, let's have fun doing it and enjoy it?
Well, it's just trying to not, because like in the old days they got us on the treadmill and it just kept touring and touring and touring, and it burned us out, you know. And we're trying this time around not to do it too much, just have days off and have a bit of, you know, relax occasionally, because you can't keep that momentum up all the time, because it just burns you out, you know.
And being back in Birmingham, first Midlands gigs, obviously there were a lot of faithful.
Well,
Birmingham, you've got Coventry to come, but being back in the Midlands, was that a different crowd?
Well, I had all my band and mates turn up last night, so that was kind of cool. But there's always that rivalry thing between Coventry and Birmingham, you know what I mean? CCFC, okay, or whatever. I don't know.
What about the Coventry gig? Because that's the end of this.
Yeah,
tour. That's the big one, isn't
that'd
it?
be the big one. Yeah, that'd be. For my brown trousers, maybe.
What about the music itself? Two-tone as you're going. You know, two-tone has survived so long. When you guys were writing the songs and playing the songs 30 years ago, I know it's a sort of a cliche question, but no one can have imagined you'd be back here sort of 30 years later, surely.
I had a funny feeling back in the day that it was quite important, and it meant something, you know what I mean? Because the songs are important, you know. What we're saying is more important than we are, you know what I mean?
But to have you back, to have the name back, to have the band back, I mean, the fans have come back as well. Was that ever a worry that?
There's a lot of young kids coming as well, which is pretty good. Like my daughter's age group, they're all coming to the gigs, which is really nice, yeah.
Did the band worry that, I mean, the tour sold out really quickly, but was there a worry that actually you would go there and everyone wouldn't come back, even though the expectation was there?
No. No, the world needs us.
That's lovely. That's great. Do you want to do a quick?